Hi, my name is Maureen Sheikh. I'm here at the Development Marketplace. That's the official name for this rather unique idea. Going around the world, holding a global competition to see what ideas people come up with. Each year the competition has a theme, and since we're paying more in food, it's not surprising this year's topic is agriculture. After the competition, the winners receive a grant for up to $200,000 to jumpstart their project. Now let's go take a look at the projects.
The purpose of this program is to develop a unit that will cool milk without using electricity, targeting smallholder dairy farmers who produces about 50 liters of milk per day, and 35% of which is produced in the evening, but gets wasted because it can't find its way to the market because there is no transportation at night. So the idea is if they have a cooler with about 20-liter capacity, they can cool that milk so the next day it will end up in the market, can get to the market.
This project is about turning waste into organic soil fertilizer using beetles in the process. We are helping 180 families collect the trash in their community in Altos de la Florida, in Bogotá, Colombia. 1/3 of the families are displaced people and 80 are headed by single mothers. So the idea is to pick up the trash, take it to a main composting station, process it using beetles, and the end result is a soil fertilizer that we're going to use in urban agriculture projects to grow organic foods and any kinds of vegetables.
Finalist teams will gather at the World Bank headquarters in Washington, D.C. today to make their case for funding to an international jury. The jury is typically composed of senior experts from within and outside the World Bank.
Basically, we were driven by just two criteria. Basically, how innovative is this? Is it a new thinking out of the box? And what does it translate to when it is implemented? Will it bring a lot of people out of poverty? Will it really result into concrete, tangible results? That was important.
So we work with the cocoa research unit in the Trinidad and Tobago at the University of the West Indies, and we are trying to establish a DNA fingerprinting system for traceability in cacao. And so we came up with the idea of sequencing certain amounts of the genome. We were using the chloroblast genome, multiple times different varieties, and comparing these genomes to look at hypervariable regions. That's a very new, very novel, innovative approach, and we're hoping to be able to try to implement that in cacao.
This project is intended to halt a big deforestation that's going on right now in the east region of Paraguay. We want to create a mechanism where by national government will be paying farmers to preserve their own land and conservation of forests.
What's interesting here is that we're trying to show a prototype of how the new law for ecosystem services will work in one specific area in Paraguay, the poorest area. So if it works there, then it can work nationwide.
Projects here at the competition are going to show different regions of the world that need to grow, how they can do that. And these projects, what's especially interesting about them is that they are only worth $200,000 or less. That means that they can succeed with only a small fraction of the billions of dollars that go into development. Jean-Michel, tell us about your project. This is a project that when we look at the photographs, we see a really very well-fed pig, and when we look at your kiosk, you're talking about transforming pig slurry in Vietnam. Now tell us why this romantic-sounding project is good and whether it's going to work.
So the objective of this project is to transform together pig slurry and rice straw in Vietnam in order to avoid pollution of the water, for example, by nitrogen and phosphorus, and to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by straw burning.
My name's Claire Nicklin, and I'm working with a project on the use of an ancient legume from the Andes called lupin or chocho in Ecuador, and how we can find a new market for it in the United States. It's often referred to as the soybean of the Andes because you can do the same thing with chocho that you can do with soybean. So we want to make soy products like tofu or alternative cheese products, and it has the grand advantage over soy while it has a similar nutritional profile of not having the isoflavones or the anti-nutritional properties. And this would benefit 5,000 farmers in the Andes who are already exporting organic quinoa, and lupin would be part of their rotation with the organic quinoa, fixing nitrogen. So we're trying to revalue this ancient rotation by also finding an organic market for lupin, just like they have for quinoa.
If productivity of farms in sub-Saharan Africa and elsewhere can be improved, as all of these projects want to do, global poverty will be greatly reduced. We have probably 2.6 billion people around the world who live in poverty, and about 3/4 of them live in rural areas. So these projects address the poverty problem as directly as any project could, and that's why they're so exciting. And the sponsors and the funders of Development Marketplace 2008, they know this, and even though they're engaged in multi-million and even multi-billion-dollar projects elsewhere, they know that these smaller projects, if they work, can be replicated. And if they can be replicated, that means they can have an exponential effect on reducing poverty.
Together with co-funders, the Development Marketplace will award about $4 million in grants to the winners of the 2008 global competition. For more information on Development Marketplace, please visit www.developmentmarketplace.org.